No, stand up. It's good. It's great.
So, as we know, you guys like to...
We like to what? We don't know.
Do Ruby.
Oh, okay. You guys like to do a lot of pranks behind the scenes, and I'm wondering what would be your favorite? What's the farthest that you've gone?
Prank, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Part of the gag reel, I'm going to say this just because we just saw the gag reel. The pie in the face is pretty funny. The pie in Misha's face, it kind of made me cringe.
Well, yeah, because you like were trying to take
I was trying to
head
go,
off.
I was trying to go quick. The problem is that I knew if he saw
Quick
me.
and powerful should. I mean, you can do quick without being powerful.
Yeah, but it's balancing. It's a whipped cream, and it's so I had to give it force. But it's one of those things where you immediately you're like, oh my god, like that could have almost gone like the thing in Brad's your eyepiece. It's like we spend so many hours on the show that you're kind of just goofing around, and something happens. You're like, oh my god, that could have gone really poorly.
Horribly wrong.
Yeah, so that didn't. That one is the most fresh in my mind.
The coin bit was nice.
Coin was fun.
When Misha and Jared bet each other, how much was it?
$10 a point.
$10 a point in Scrabble.
Words with friends.
Words of Friends. And Jared won
Like 200 points.
outrageously.
Yeah. So do y'all play Words with Friends? Okay. I had on the top row.
What's your username?
I had jellies with a J on the triple letter that went all the way to triple word, and the J had triple down and triple. It was like a 188-point word, and I think it was like the third word I had, and Misha wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't look at me or talk to me for like the remainder of the game. And then he didn't pay up, and I was like, that's fine. You know, like we thought it was gonna be a 10-point game or something. We didn't think it was gonna be a 200-point game. So it came at like $2,000. Yeah, which is one of those things that goes poor really quickly. You're like, I didn't.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you to it, man. I'm not gonna hold you to it. He's like, I'm good for it. I'm good for it. And he was always acting really weird. Come to find out later, it's because he was going around the city of Vancouver asking all the banks for their pennies. Yeah, he had like a warrant out for his arrest or something. We're like, why is this guy hoarding pennies and nickels? And so he came in and had like 180 pounds of coins, and he just poured them all into my trailer. And I remember opening my trailer door.
$2,000 worth of pennies.
It was $2,000 worth of like, it was something like, I think he got all the pennies in Vancouver, and so there were some nickels and dimes. It was like 60,000 coins. Yeah, and there was a mountain in my trailer, and I remember opening my trailer door, and I could see my dog on the other side of the coins, and she was like freaking out because she couldn't walk on it, right? So she was just like, and she's like parched shepherd because she's a tough dog, and she's like, I don't want this. It's like, what is this? And then so I made a donation to Random X, obviously, with the coins. So I didn't want him to have to carry them all, so I poured them in his car for him.
You didn't. You had the Teamsters gather up all the coins. And then just directed them to pour it all, with a shop vac, and then just dumped it all into his car.
He said for months, anytime he had hit the brakes, he'd hear like, ching, 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 ching. Because he tried to get them all out, but one was like stuck in the seatbelt thing, so he couldn't wear his seatbelt. I mean, it was pretty good, but it was a nice donation for Random Acts. So I hope he that was a fun one.
Anytime Misha tries to plan something to prank us, it backfires horribly.
I think I'll direct an episode. Yes.
Okay. I've already done the singing and all that, but I really have to ask this. Sorry, I'm really nervous. I noticed you've been getting very outgoing with singing lately. And
Once.
No.
Once.
Several times.
It's still awesome. Okay.
Yes.
It's really inspiring.
Thank
I like
you.
it. But I was wondering, would you ever be willing to sing like an acoustic version of "Carry On Wayward Son" for like the finale, like the series finale? No. We're talking about it. Okay.
That's like Voldemort. We don't say series finale.
Then anytime you want to sing it, would you be willing to sing an acoustic version of
That's,
Carry On?
that's a good song. I don't know an acoustic version.
You can make it up.
Okay, I'll just make it up.
Yeah, you can sing it yourself.
I'm not a musician. Let's remember that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe? No? Yes? Sure.
Maybe works. It
Okay,
works.
I'll give you a maybe.
Okay,
Strong,
it works.
strong, solid maybe.
It works. Thank you.
Done. Yes, back right on the aisle. Hi.
Hi. So first off, Jared, I want to thank you for doing the T-shirt campaign. It really means a lot.
Thank you.
And then I'm wondering if you could bring back one character besides like Bobby, of course. Like who would you bring back? Or like the dead?
That's a tough question. We've had so many cool characters. I would love to see. I'd love to see Richard come back because I think there's so much. Yeah, I mean, there's so many: Sebastian and Mitch and Rob and Richard and Genevieve. No, I don't. She came back. I don't want to get lock in the. So I think story-wise, I feel like he was an archangel. He was the trickster for a while, but there's so much also that his character can do. It's difficult to bring Rob back because he's God, right? So it's like, well, if we have God, you can't. It's weird. And I would love to have Mitch back because I love Mitch. But I think Richard, because he can do the most within the story and cause the most kind of ruckus for the boys.
She asked you, man.
I don't know.
She said Jared.
She said, Jared, thank you. Now, what do you go?
I have an amazing answer, and I'm not going to answer. No. No. Yes, you.
Okay, I wrote this down, so I'm not sorry, I had too much fun this weekend. My voice is on this.
We
Did
like
you
to
write
hear
that down? I'm sorry, I had a lot of fun. I can't read my writing. I can't talk.
My husband will be thrilled when I get home and I can't talk. Okay, so my husband and I keep wondering, even when you're in states like Arizona and it's not raining, 90% of the time the car is wet. I live in Seattle and my car isn't wet that often. My husband says you're having it washed. I don't know.
And the ground is wet.
You know, a lot of times, like when we're doing the interior car scenes, when we're talking in the car and you see water on the windows or whatever, so we're shooting that inside the soundstage, so it's not actually raining, but we have to assume that it will be. So we'd rather be safe than sorry. We'd rather assume that we drove through a small shower and then continued on, as opposed to having a dry car in the interior scene.
And then it cuts to the outside.
And then it cuts to the outside. So we figured that if we gamble that it's going to be raining regardless.
Furthermore, there's a lighting. It's better for lighting to have, because a water droplet, you can imagine, refracts the light in several different ways, so it gives it a different look. In fact, when we're shooting scenes outside and it's not raining, we shouldn't do this in California with their year left water, but it's like a sprinkler car, and the car literally looks like a oil tanker, and it just sprays water on the streets because when it's lit, it creates a better reflection or refraction for the lighting. So it's not that one scene. We had wet hair in that one scene, right?
Yeah, that was awful.
Was
You know, I
fun.
read a little fun fact actually that Seattle ranks number 10 of big cities in America with the most rainfall. Behind like Atlanta, New York, Miami.
Atlanta?
Yes, number 10.
Oh, like Florida, Orlando, all that, yeah.
And number 1 in sunglass sales. Not kidding. I don't make this stuff up. They buy more per capita more sunglasses in Seattle than any other city.
Y'all are optimistic. I like that.
They
I know.
smoke too much and
Look
forget
on the
where they
bright
are.
side. No, it's because when there's finally a day of sunshine, they're like,
Oh, where's my sunglasses? I gotta buy some.
In Texas, it's 100 degrees. We're like, deal with it.
Yeah, we just put eye black on.
In Texas, we find the shade. In Seattle, they're like, the light. Don't look at me. Go right here.
Hi.
During this season, we are experiencing different characters. Dean is more, sorry, is more insecure. Like he needs Sam help and Cass help. It's a new aspect for us, and so Sam has to be like more strong, more close to him, and help him to go out of this situation for the mark and so on. So I was wondering, in your real life, which one of you is the guide for the other, or if there is, I mean, one, or...
Depends when, what.
Yeah, it depends on what the situation is. And I will say that in regards to the story, yeah, Dean he's kind of in need of some help with his current situation. I can't remember if it's already aired, but he will, if he hasn't already, will very soon start denying help. And, you know, he'll be like, listen, don't help me anymore. I'll deal with it on my own. Which, of course, is very Dean.
Yes, he's already...
He's already started to do that, yeah. And that obviously will escalate and get worse as the season goes on. And then, I don't know, personally, but yeah, if I got a situation I'm dealing with, he's certainly on my favorites lists of people to call, so.
It's because I'm like 3 feet away in a trailer.
Generally, yeah. I don't even have to call him. I can just be like, Dad! Come here!
Did you try flushing? What are you doing?
Bring a coat hanger! Sorry.
Right here.
There was the edge. There it was, and we just...
One final question.
I was wondering, okay. I was wondering if you've ever been to Wyoming or if you would visit Wyoming. Because you know, all Texans love Wyoming.
I would love to go to Wyoming. Did you go?
I've never been. I'd love to go.
We went to, our families kind of stayed in Aspen together, Colorado this winter, and we were looking around in Montana and Wyoming, and I would love to go. My wife lived in Montana for a year when she was growing up, and she loves that. Yeah, so she went and visited Jackson Hole and stuff from Montana. They'd go and visit. But we'd love to.
What city would you recommend?
Bend, Oregon!
It's not quite Wyoming, but... Thanks for the
Bend,
shot.
Oregon, Wyoming!
I don't know. We're from Cheyenne, but it's really pretty up through Jackson.
Awesome. Well, we'll try and make it. Maybe we can shoot an episode next time.
I'd love to.
Thanks, guys. All right, see y'all. We'll see you around about